Hello students, in the previous video we studied about non-cyclic electron transport system that is taking place in the thylakoid membrane. Now let's study the cyclic electron transport system which also occurs in thylakoid membrane. Okay, so first of all let's study under what conditions this cyclic electron transport occurs in the chloroplast. Under what conditions? The cyclic electron transport system occurs under three conditions. Those three conditions are, first condition is when carbon dioxide fixation is absent inside the cell, then the cyclic electron transport system occurs. And the second condition is inside the stroma lamellae, the cyclic electron transport system occurs. And in third condition is when the incident light, the incoming sunlight is with the wavelength greater than 680 nanometers, then cyclic photophosphorylation occurs. Okay, now I'll explain one by one why cyclic photophosphorylation occurs in each and every condition. Right. So the cyclic photophosphorylation occurs when dark phase is absent, or when carbon dioxide fixation is absent inside the cell, is not taking place inside the cell. What is this carbon dioxide fixation during dark phase? Carbon dioxide is fixed, carbon dioxide is reduced into carbohydrate. So when the reduction of carbon dioxide into carbohydrate is absent, is not taking place inside the cell, what happens? This NADPH, the concentration of this NADPH plus H plus will be decreased. Why it will be concentration of NADPH plus H plus will be increased? Why it will be increased? Actually, the NADPH plus H plus which is synthesized during light phase is utilized during dark phase for the fixation of carbon dioxide into carbohydrate. So, as there is no carbon dioxide fixation, or as there is no dark phase taking place inside the cell, the concentration of NADPH plus H plus present inside the cell will be increased. So, ultimately the concentration of NADP plus will be decreased inside the cell. So, when the concentration of NADP plus is decreased inside the cell, what happens? There will be no NADP plus available to receive the electrons which are coming from ferredoxin. So, when there is no NADP plus to receive the electrons which are coming from ferredoxin, how these electrons are coming? From PS2, electrons are accepted by pheophytin. From pheophytin, they are transferred to PS1, downhill movement, and from PS1, electrons are received by FES. From FES, they are transferred to FD during non-cyclic electron transport, and from FD, ferredoxin, they are transferred to NADP plus. So now NADP plus is absent inside the cell. It is not available inside the cell to receive the electrons which are coming from ferredoxin during non-cyclic electron transport. So as this NADP plus is not available, now the path of electrons is diverted to PQ. Now these electrons are transferred to PQ. Electrons which are coming from ferredoxin are transferred to PQ. We know this PQ is proton carrier. Actually, it is not an electron carrier. As it is proton carrier, after receiving 2 electrons, it consumes 2 protons from stroma and it is reduced into its reduced form, that is reduced form of plastoquinone. Now, this reduced form of plastoquinone transfers electrons to the next carrier, that is cytochrome BF complex. So, and it leaves these protons into lumen. Whereas transfers electrons to cytochrome BF complex. From cytochrome BF complex, now these electrons are transferred to plastocyanin. From plastocyanin, electrons are transferred to PS1. Again from PS1, they will be transferred to FES to FD. So like this, the electrons which are removed, which are lost from PS1 are cycled back to PS1, photosystem 1. And hence it is called as cyclic electron transport system. Okay, so this is the first condition during which cyclic electron transport system occurs. Now coming to second condition. Second condition is it occurs in stroma lamellae. Why? Because PS2, photosystem 2 is absent in stroma lamellae. In stroma lamellae, there are no appressed regions As there are no appressed regions, there is no photosystem 2 because photosystem 2 is present in the appressed regions of grana or the thylakoid membranes. So as there are no appressed regions, there is no photosystem 2. As there is no photosystem 2, non-cyclic photophosphorylation does not occur, or non-cyclic electron transport does not occur. Only cyclic electron transport occurs. Now, third condition is when the incident light, the incoming sunlight is with the wavelength which is greater than 680 nanometers wavelength, the reaction center which is present in PS2 does not get activated. But the reaction center which is present in PS1, photosystem 1, gets activated at P700, at 700 nanometers wavelength of light, and hence cyclic electron transport system occurs. So this is about cyclic electron transport system. Now let's study the differences between this non-cyclic electron transport system and cyclic electron transport system. So non-cyclic ETS and cyclic ETS. Cyclic ETS. So in non-cyclic ETS, what is taking place? Both PS1 and PS2 are involved in non-cyclic ETS, whereas in cyclic ETS only PS1 is involved. And in non-cyclic ETS there is requirement of external electron donor. What is that external electron donor? Water. Why there is requirement of external electron donor? Because the electrons which are removed, which are lost from PS2 are not cycled back to PS2, and hence it is called as non-cyclic electron transport system. So to restore the electrons which are lost from PS2, external electron donor, that is water, is required. So external electron donor, that is water, is required. Water is required in non-cyclic ETS, whereas in cyclic ETS this external electron donor is not required because the electrons which are removed from PS1 are cycled back to PS1, and hence there is no requirement of external electron donor. Next, and during non-cyclic ETS, what happens? NADPH synthesis occurs, whereas in cyclic ETS there is no synthesis of NADPH. And this non-cyclic ETS occurs in grana, only grana, whereas the cyclic ETS occurs in both grana and stroma lamellae. Okay. One more important thing is ATP, formation of ATP. ATP formation occurs in both non-cyclic electron transport system and cyclic electron transport system. What is the aim of this light phase? Aim of this light phase is to convert radiant form of energy into chemical form of energy. What is that chemical form of energy? NADPH and ATP. So NADPH is synthesized during non-cyclic electron transport system, but during cyclic electron transport system there is no synthesis of NADPH, but ATP is synthesized in both non-cyclic ETS and cyclic ETS. So what is this synthesis of ATP called? Synthesis of ATP from ADP and inorganic phosphate is called as phosphorylation, and now that phosphorylation is taking place in the presence of sunlight, and hence it is called as photophosphorylation. So the photophosphorylation which is taking place during non-cyclic ETS, non-cyclic electron transport system, is called as non-cyclic photophosphorylation, and the photophosphorylation, that is ATP synthesis, which is taking place during cyclic electron transport system, is called as cyclic photophosphorylation. So this is all about both non-cyclic electron transport system and cyclic electron transport system. So along with this non-cyclic and cyclic electron transport system, we studied all the stages of light phase. So what are the stages of light phase? There, first is absorption of sunlight. So absorption of sunlight by pigments. Second is splitting of water. So splitting of water. Third step is release of oxygen. So oxygen is released by the splitting of water. Where it is into, which part it is released into? Lumen of the thylakoid membrane it is released, from where it diffuses out of the chloroplast and even out of the leaf into atmosphere. Next, third step is electron transport. Electron transport is taking place, and fourth step is synthesis. synthesis of ATP and high energy compounds, that is ATP and NADPH. So these ATP and NADPH, which are synthesized during light phase, are utilized during dark phase, that is for the fixation of carbon dioxide into carbohydrate. And this process, that is dark phase, occurs inside the stroma of the chloroplast. Okay. So now we know that how this NADPH is synthesized during the non-cyclic electron transport system, but we have to understand the synthesis of ATP, which occurs during non-cyclic electron transport system and cyclic electron transport system. So to understand the synthesis of ATP, we study chemiosmotic hypothesis given by Michel. So in the next video, I will be starting with chemiosmotic hypothesis, which explains the synthesis of ATP during photophosphorylation and during even oxidative phosphorylation that occurs inside the mitochondrion. Photophosphorylation occurs in chloroplast, whereas oxidative phosphorylation occurs in mitochondrion. So this is all about this video lecture, and in the next video, let's start with chemiosmotic hypothesis, which explains the synthesis of ATP. Thank you, students.